That would have been helpful to know 10 minutes ago.
What the hell?
Smart wire that switches.
Ladies and gentlemen, you just witnessed history.
How about that?
All right, the AFX is off the table. It is on the ground. We did get this starting running. We're going to take it to the dyno. Guess how much horsepower this will make to the tires, because somewhere in this video, don't skip all the way to the end, watch all the good stuff in between, but somewhere in this video, we're going to give you the horsepower numbers of to the tire results with a cam change. You know this came to us with how much horsepower, AJ? 797. Modifications to it is a cam, done at Billy Briggs, and AJ's parts went in it, but a cam change, valve spring change, pulley change, and then we're going to give you the to the tires results. So who's going to be the closest on guessing? I mean, we give you the answer in this video, so we can't ask for a guess or give you something. But remember, Powerfest, Friday. It's coming up in just a few days. The official Powerfest shirt is out. Go buy a shirt before they sell out at the show, and it enters you to win the 57 Chevy Gasser, because we're giving away the Gasser that we turned from a bracket car into a drag and drive car, and now it can be yours with 150 more horsepower than it had at Six Summer. Based on some Iski stuff that we did to it. But that is the Gasser, Powerfest. Oh, if you spend $100 on merch, you get 20 extra entries. So you get 20 bonus entries. So not only an entry for every $5 you spend, if you spend $100 or more on one order, you get 20 bonus entries. So go buy a whole bunch of merch, because Bobby doesn't like when there's merch left. It gets given to him. And then, Bobby, how tall is the pile of merch you have at home? 6 foot. He's got a 6 foot tall pile of merch at home, and he doesn't want any more. So he wants you to go buy it so he doesn't have it. So get over to the website, grab some merch, and hey, we'll take you through the build-up process to get this to the dyno and hopefully to Roadkill on Friday, Saturday. Powerfest Friday, Roadkill Saturday. There you go. Thanks for watching.
Engine is almost done. A couple things got to change. Other wires basically done. But got to mount others. All the wires are ran, but nothing in the car really at all other than the engine is mounted. So I can't do really anything to wire because I don't know where it's going to be. So therefore I have the wire there, but now I just have to wait. So waiting on mounting stuff. That's that.
So, but you got the handy motion brackets for mounting the Holly. So that's location. So, and then this says the 6-inch dash. So we're utilizing based on time. I mean, we're using all the factor or the Holly harnesses that normally we would make a custom harness, but there's no time to make a custom harness. So modifying harnesses are designed to probably go into a more modern car to fit what we can do with this car. So you get the dash, and it does have a smart wire in it up there somewhere. Smart wires in there. It does have the 2, because based on time frame we're not running an alternator, so it's got 2 excess power batteries in the back, the 14-volt lithium ions, so that should be no problem running that between rounds. Just charge them, because really electric demand is, we're running the mechanical water pump on the front of the engine, so we've got the fan, and then other than electronics, I mean, that's it, right?
Well, your pump takes your
Oh,
fuel
yeah.
pump takes a ton.
Fuel pump.
Your intercooler
So-
pump takes a ton.
Yeah, I guess we got fuel pump, intercooler, so located in the back, but that's where the air motive, air motive out of the box pump in the tanks with the 10 gallon per minute pump installed. We got the Titan 8 batteries. Excess power, these still have to be mounted, but those are going in. Aiden did switch this to the 4-way switch so that it does have the cutoff for when we do have the alternator. Right now, there's no alternator, so the switch is overkill, but either way, it will get an alternator. I mean, after we get done with this, we are turning drag and drive a car. So the Be Cool radiator came in yesterday. They flipped that around quickly. It's bigger than the one that was in there and big enough for going racing. That is not going to be big enough for street driving, I don't believe. So we'll see what kind of temperatures it runs, but they did lay it out based on the space provided without making major modifications. So appreciate Be Cool flipping that around for us. It's got the Delta Pag fan already mounted to it, the 12-inch fan. So that part of it, good to go. We just got to get that drilled and mounted. But I mean, they set it up according to the dimensions that we gave them. So that's good. We went to a drag pack oil pan on here. When we went to mount the pickup last night, we took it out of the box, and another Dodge thing, that there's different oil pumps that the way that the pickup tube mounts is it's clocked differently. So the one that we got was clocked for a different style oil pump than we have on here. I ran that over to Billy Briggs, which you'll probably see that video of that right here. All right, guys, so it is Saturday. We went to put the Hemi pan on, the drag pack pan on our Hemi, and the pickup tube that we were sent doesn't match up because apparently there is different oil pump clocking of the pickup tube that didn't realize. So you just bolt the new pickup tube in, put the pan on. What we thought was an easy job turns into something. So we are at Billy Briggs. We're at Billy's shop, Billy Briggs, and King of Hemis, King of Gen 3 Hemis currently. I mean, he's building so many of them, it's crazy. But we're going to get this stuff mocked up here on a block out of the car so that hopefully we don't have to take our engine out. We can just change a couple things, get that pan in place, and be able to move on what we thought was an easy job last night turned into a headache. So, but we're solving that headache. All right, so it's all the little things that's AJ sent us. This is a drag pack pan with pickup. We had the front sump, which I saw a front sump laying over here. Billy's to mock this up, but we had this style front sump, so we took that off, and then the pickup tube, which Billy is messing with, is clocked differently than the other one, so therefore none of it mates up. So now we are working on this engine that Billy has here versus the engine that is in the car to fix it, come up with a plan so they can get back and lay under the car and just move the one stud and hopefully get all this stuff to line up and get this rear sump oil pan in there so that hopefully we don't hit the ground as hard with it as the front sump and how low it sits in the car. As you can see, I mean, Billy is Hemis out the butt. Everywhere you look, there's Hemi parts. And Hemi cars getting work done. So definitely the place to be for Gen 3 Hemi stuff. Ran over to Billy Briggs. He cut it, chopped it, had another engine so we didn't have to pull this to do it. And basically just had a block there, flipped it over, put an oil pump on it, redid that, cut that off, welded that, put that back in place. Brought it back, so I was able to get that pickup tube and the oil pan on there. So that part of it's done. We did get the, we got rid of the oil cooler. I mean, that was as simple as just a double threaded deal to just run oil filter without a coil provision, because if you watch the other video, then you've seen how we had to remove that because we couldn't clear the frame on here for that. EJ got some cardboard exhaust pipes done, mocked up last night, so I dropped those off at Rick Callahan's shop to make those for us. He's just not going to make the flanges. He said in 35 years that he's been in business, it's the first time somebody brought in cardboard exhaust and said, will you make this out of steel? So he thinks that we're starting a trend there, but based on timing, we can't wait and get the car to him to let him do the exhaust there. Bobby's not here, so we can't have Bobby do the exhaust. So next best thing was EJ's art project. She made an exhaust for it out of cardboard, and we took it there along with O2 bungs, so that's going on. Floor's still going in. I suppose that's where we're at right now. That's the update on Saturday night. So we're hoping to actually get this car. I'll tell you that the new goal is to get this car running. There's a test and tune at Milan Thursday. So the new goal is that we take this to test and tune in 4 days. Think we can make it? We'll see.
This is the fuel system for the AFX. So Red Horse sent us a bunch of stuff today. You hear something, Bob? We're trying to blow each other up. It's kind of fun. It's to entertain ourselves while trying to build these cars. Just blow each other up. Whoever dies first loses. Ain't that right, Bob?
Did you get shrapnel?
I did get a little bit.
Alright.
But anyway, before I was rudely interrupted, Red Horse sent us a bunch of hose. We got it today. So, starting to put the fuel system in here with the air motive pump and filter and all that.
What happened? Is this a big deal or something?
Yeah, this is... We don't take shifters apart here.
Okay, he said take it apart. All I did
To put the...
was unscrew these, and then everything just fell apart. Damn, you keep storming in here.
Was there 2 of those? I think I figured it out. I'm gonna steal all their secrets now and build my own shifters. Maybe I shouldn't say that.
Well, I was given the instructions. Take the shifter apart to attach the cable. So what did I do? I took it apart. Apparently too much. Took it apart all the way. And now Aiden's putting it back together for me.
When we say take apart, you take that single bolt off. Actually, you only loosen it, allowing this thing to turn, and then there's a little pin that goes there and there. The one connects the air shifter, and the shifter cable comes in here and goes to another pin connected to this, and that is all you take apart. You don't take every single bolt out of it.
That would have been helpful to know 10 minutes ago. I got none of that, and now I got us in this predicament.
So make those the right size for all the random stuff that bolts on here, but that part's done. Don't take all of them out at once, take 1 or 2 out at once and change where they go.
Holy f***. Thanks, Aiden.
This car is basically the same setup as that car, but I have to go through and disable a lot of outputs because we don't have half the stuff going on in this car that we have in that. So all the stuff's not firing. I gotta go through and disable all of it, and then just double check because I roughed in that one just with a battery hooked up to the smart wire, not the real battery, just so I could get like stuff like the headlights and tail lights and all that figured out. So now I'm also going through and inspecting to see what I might have looked over, like where, for example, the fans when I've come on, because I was looking for a fan input that wasn't the fan input we're using, so therefore it wouldn't have worked out so well.
That would have been a good one for safety classes. This is so embarrassing. I'm just thinking about the face I was just making. Did you get that?
What you running there, Eej?
Water line to the front, and then gotta run another one the same route that'll come back to the ice tank.
I am. Sounds like Dodge.
This is always a treat. Good news is that we fired it up. Everything went smoothly. And now we're gonna load it up and head over to Billy's shop and run it on the dyno. Made it to Billy's shop. Gonna get this thing unloaded and on the dyno. One more! There
One
we go.
more. All right, hold it. Straighten it out. Brake. Awesome. We got it.
All right, we're over at Billy Briggs on the chassis dyno. So B and AJ, or B and EJ, the EJ and the AJ thing confuses me, but the B and EJ got it over here with AJ, and then got it on the chassis dyno last night, and sat here because Rich had to mow his lawn, wherever Rich is at, but so then AJ got on the dyno this morning, got it started up, and just mostly everything in line, and then going to make some pulls with it, see what it makes, and try and get the tune-up straight. He did switch it over to E85 last night, this morning. This morning, switched it over to E85, so it is now on E85. No flex fuel sensor yet, so it is only E85. But eventually we'll put a flex fuel sensor in and then be able to switch it like the other cars between the track and driving on the street, because once again, the idea is this will be a street car when it's all said and done. So AJ, what have you figured out so far?
So yesterday we switched it over so we could run it on E85. It was a little cranky, you know, still with some gasoline in there. We were able to get everything drained out this morning, purged, fully on E85.
Did you test that E85 that EJ got at the pump at the local gas station?
We didn't, but I already, you know, doing some preliminary runs and everything.
Seems fine.
Everything looks good.
Cool.
It idles good, so I don't have any reason to to believe that we got bad stuff.
And when you poured it in, it didn't seem like it was half water,
It
half gas.
wasn't. It really wasn't. Yeah, it really wasn't. You know, we use a lot of it, so we can get a good judge about it. So.
Okay, well, we're here. Battery's dead, so EJ is putting the charger on the batteries, and because once again, no alternator, so this thing won't charge. Like we just got to top the batteries off in between rounds, and until we can get an alternator mocked in there, which will be after Roadkill, because we are only days away. So there you go. We'll make some runs and see what happens.